Benny, you were saying you weren't gonna get it.
Bro, let's check. Flex it. Flex it. Flex it. No shower. Just start aura farming through the whole lobby. Just go aura farm.
Now this is gonna be a little bit of a different video than what you used to see on this channel. I have written down a couple of thoughts about the Cantina Legend grind, the trials, and what it was like for me, from my personal view, to do this and to keep doing this. And I want to show you just a little bit of it. So this is what I basically wrote down, right? As I said, now there is a lot to talk about, right? First of all, I want to say I'm very grateful for the trials it's in itself, and especially my very best friend Blaze, who supported me and who is the reason why this channel exists in the first place, just because he believed in me and he pushed me, like, uploading videos for this. Also, congratulations to being a granddad. Now, there's a lot to talk about, right? Let's do a little bit of a positive thing first. I want to thank the people that I met during this season. The people that helped me, the people I played with, the people are what made this journey for me very, very enjoyable. Usually I would ask you as a favor to like and subscribe the video. I won't this time. I would only ask you to take these few minutes and watch the entire video to its end, because there is a lot in it, and it would like mean a lot to me if you can watch especially the last part of the video. Every one of us, every one of those people went through pain and suffering. And I really mean it. Believe it or not, but I want to share the truth and how it looks like in the upper bracket of Hotshot and Cantina Legend, and what it means to be there and or to get there. And I want to tell you what it's like. Now, if I look tired, then that's because I am tired. Especially the last 2 weeks were a grind, but I wanted to record this video as soon as possible so that all the memories and all the feelings are still fresh, right? The most positive thing about trials were the people that I met. But there are a lot of problems with the current system, and I want to share this. I want to talk about this to maybe change something, or if not, at least let the people know what it's like and what it's really like. First of all, I won't go into the entire cheating thing. It's obvious at this point. If you look at the upper part of the Cantina Legend bracket, I'm not saying that everyone is cheating. That's not my point. But it's blatant and it's obvious, and I don't even want to waste time going into it, just because it's that obvious, right? Let's talk about the problem with the trials itself. First of all, the trials being tied to map conditions and specific timers that sometimes appear only once a day is horrible. Like, it makes the trial system in itself absolutely horrible. The timers keep changing. Mbug is not lining up the timers with its trials, and I've talked about, like, I've gathered information from other people as well, like what their biggest problems were with the trials, and this is one of the biggest problems in itself. Just for example, take the trial open arc probes. it was found out relatively quickly that the best map to do this on is Spaceport on Electromagnetic Storm. Now, in the last week, Spaceport EMS came up once or twice a day, and it was to horrendous times. I've had people in US complaining that it's in the middle of the night, like 2 or 3 a.m., I can't remember, that big of a deal. But the majority of people that play this game are not able to play on that time. And therefore you exclude the majority of the people just with these timers and these map conditions. It's and then MBug changing those timers during the week completely screws your sleep schedule. I was waking up at, I don't know, 7 a.m. I've set an alarm to 7 a.m. just to get my trials done. This is what it's like to play in Cantina Legend. It's not good, it's not healthy, it's not normal. Anyways, another big problem is that there is a go-to map for every trial. There is a best meta map for each trial, right? Like take for example shredders, like killing shredders, right? You have to go to Stellamontes, or killing ticks. Even worse, ticks was the ticks trial was the absolute worst and made the experience horrible and made a lot of people uninstall the game. Why? Now, first of all, you funnel the entire player base into one map. And by the entire player base, I am aware not everyone's doing trials, yada yada. I'm talking about the people who are doing trials, and there are a lot of people doing trials, right? Now, you funnel all of these people, you have a limited time window, and you have a limited map, which means you funnel all of these players into one map at one specific time, which ends up in a clown fiesta. There is no other way to describe it. For probes, it's usually a PvE looting come together. For shredders and ticks, it's usually a PvP come together to clear the map first and then like go on with your trials. It's a horrible experience. It's not fun. It doesn't make sense. And let's not talk about all the bugs and the issues that come with it. For example, ticks spawning outside of the map, right? So you not only have the RNG of where the ticks spawned, like did they spawn in communications or not? Did they spawn in lobby or not? Also, you have ticks randomly spawning outside of the map, which led to people glitching out of bounds. And now there are multiple angles you can like tackle this from. There were people glitching out of bounds to kill the ticks outside, to fix what MBug was not able to fix, the spawn mechanic of ticks. And then you had people sitting out of bounds, farming ticks without getting PvP'd on. It is a shit show. If you want to compete in the upper bracket of Cantina Legend, it is a cheating fiesta and a shit show. I'm not saying everyone is cheating. I'm not saying everyone is doing heinous shit, but it is bad. Believe me, it is. The next big problem is late spawns, and this is something that was discussed everywhere, basically, on YouTube, on Reddit, wherever you want. When you're doing trials, you need the entire time. Usually. There are a couple of exceptions, like hidden bunker, download data, whatever, carrybles. No, even with carrybles, you need the entire time. You need the full match length. You need the time. Now, if you spawn late, you have to reset. There is no way around it. You're coming in with loadouts worth 200,000 space credits just for yet another late spawn is extremely frustrating. It is, and even what makes it even worse is that you're running into the danger of getting ratted by a free kid. Make free kids late, make them spawn in late, I don't care. If you spawn in with a loadout of, I don't know, 200,000, you should not be spawning late. It's so frustrating to reset over and over and over again, because you either want spawn RNG to be good, or the timers to be good, or your spawn location to not be you know what I mean? The amount of resetting you have to do, you waste so much time not playing the game that playing the game doesn't feel fun. I don't know how to put it. Late spawns is the worst thing in the world for this game, especially from a trials perspective. It makes no sense. As I said, you should not be able to spawn late with a kit of, I don't know, a worth of 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever. Another big problem was the patch day not lining up with the trials reset, and this screwed over so many people over and over again. The trial restarts on Monday, for example, and the patch hits on Tuesday. It's just an example, right? The trial starts on Monday, the patch hits on Tuesday, which means take the latest patch, for example, right? The Wolfpack cost increase. If you have the damaged queen trial, everyone's starting on Monday and are killing the queen with Wolfpacks, and then on Tuesday you increase the cost of Wolfpacks. You punish the people that were not doing it on the first day by increasing the cost at the second day of the trial. And there were so many instances where a patch completely changed a way that a trial would work during the specific week. Either deploy the patches on trial reset or make the trial reset on patch day. I don't know, but either or. But you cannot, in a competitive environment, you cannot do stuff like that where you change specific things in a game so extreme that it affects an entire part of the player base. It's nuts. The next point is trials being tied to RNG. So trials are meant to be something competitive, right? That's why there's a leaderboard, right? Whenever you have a leaderboard, it's getting competitive. And if you as a developer think that gamers are not getting competitive once there is a leaderboard, then you are either delusional or you have no idea about your work. I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. That's not my intent. But what I want to say is everyone and his mother knows that as soon as you have a leaderboard, people are going to get competitive, right? So in a competitive environment, you want to have base rules for everyone. What do I mean by that? There is so much RNG in this game, it's not a competitive environment to do trials on. Take one example. Take Rocketeers, right? Killing Rocketeers. Best map, as we all know, or at least the people who did the trials, Blue Gate, right? Why? Because Blue Gate has a double Rocketeer spawn on Pilgrim's Peak, but respawn timers feel like an RNG fiesta. And whether or not the Rocketeer spawns at all is also kind of dependent on RNG. At least that's what it feels like. That's why you have to retry those trials over and over and over again. The same with the ticks last week. Where they spawn, if they spawn, let's hope they are not out of bounds. It is so much RNG that it makes it not fun. And this is something that should be fun, at least for the people competing. Another big issue, at least for me, was or is the lack of communications and the lack of clear infrastructure. Now, I think we all know that communication is not the developer's strongest point. At least that's what it feels like for us as players. There is a big lack of communications. This also shows on the trial system. It's you don't know if you're getting demoted. Nobody. So the entire season, no one in Cantina knew, regardless of their position, whether they're gonna get demoted or not. The only way we were able to find out that there is threshold of where there is a gap. There's a point where people are getting demoted. We were sitting there every week talking to one another, trying to figure out who had how many points, and therefore who got demoted and where the turning point was. Why is it so hard to make a clear infrastructure? In the last week, no one of Hotshot knew whether they're gonna get into Cantina or not. Was it enough to have 280,000 points, or did you need 310,000 points? No one knew. You've never felt safe or secure. You've always felt pressure to do more. Now, I do understand that it's a way to keep players in the game, but it's a very unhealthy way. And I honestly don't think that's Mbug's intention. I don't think they intend, I just think they have too much on their plate. I'm just saying the lack of clear infrastructure makes it very, very hard and very unfun. Not knowing whether you gonna get promoted or demoted basically defeats the entire thing. On the point of the system in itself, let's talk about the point system, right? The point system is not good. It's not good and it's not rewarding. Speaking of rewards, please, for the love of God, make the Cantina rewards a little bit better, right? It's such a grind, it's such a pain. At least make those rewards worth going for. The only reason I did it was just because I wanted it. It was not about the skin, but the skin should be it should stand out, and it should be something special, but it's really not at the moment. Now let's go back to the points. What's the problem with the point system? Imagine you are in Cantina the entire season, right? And then for some reason, you grinded your ass off the entire season. For some reason, you are not able to play on the final week. Whether it's real life, whether it's a snowstorm, whatever it might be, right? You're not able to play in the last week. You have absolutely no way that you're gonna be in Cantina. You have no chance. What does that mean? That means that you are actually rewarded for not pushing as hard as you can the entire season, and then just do the very best to be probably in Hotshot in the last week or the second to last week, and then just push the last 2 weeks. Now, I don't know if it's intended like that, but it certainly makes no sense. If you manage to push all season long, and you manage all season long to stay in Cantina, there should be no way that you don't get the reward by the end of the season. It's losing it just because of the last week makes it very discouraging for players, and I know a lot of players that didn't get it and therefore uninstalled the game. And they didn't uninstall the game because they didn't get the skin. They uninstalled the game because it was deeply frustrating for them to be in Cantina the entire season and drop out of Cantina in the very last week. We talked about the RNG, the RNG earlier, and there are weeks. I had a very bad week, like 3 weeks ago. I demoted from Cantina to Hotshot just because I had a very, very bad week. I wasn't able to get a good shredder run in, and it was not like I didn't try. Like, I stayed up till 3 a.m. in the morning. I've set an alarm just to get into those raids. I've tried my very, very best. Still didn't manage to do it. Once again, it's not a competitive environment. It's not the competitive structure that you need for something like this. And the RNG makes it really, really hard. You shouldn't be able to demote from Cantina in the very last week when you've stayed like the entire season in Cantina. Make it like an accumulated score over the entire season. I don't know. But the way it is right now, it's a pain, and it makes people uninstall the game, and that's not what you want to do. Now, we've talked a little bit about cheating in the beginning, and people might not want to hear what I have to say now, right? But I still want to get it off of my chest. There are a couple of bad decisions being made in regards to trials that led to people queue sniping. in my personal opinion, the main problem is with this that there were absolutely no actions taken from Mbug's side. What do I mean by that? If Mbug would have come out and said back then in the Rocket during the throw snowballs and Rocketeers and Bastion, right? Back then in January, when they would have come out and said, Q sniping is a bannable offense, please don't do it, we're gonna take actions on it, people would have stopped. Now, there was no reaction from Mbug's side, which literally led to snowballing out of control. Everyone was Q sniping. Everyone was playing in up to 12-man teams Q sniping on OCE servers to make it easier to get into the same game. And the same happened in the last week as well. Whether for the Tix trials or for the Wasp trials. It happened, and if you don't know about it, believe me that it happened. In my opinion, it's you have to play. You can't blame the player for this. You have to blame the game, right? In my opinion, it's on Mbug to stop this. First of all, snitch scanners should not be snitch scanners should not give you points towards your Wasp trials. Like, that's an easy fix, right? And then you have to address the Q sniping. If you don't address it, then this is what's gonna happen. Like, if you look at the leaderboard, and I'm gonna put it up on screen, people are the first 3 players on top of Cantina Legends are begging Mbug to fix the trial system. Yeah, so Q sniping is an issue. On that note, though, I also want to say something. I think that the majority of people in the, first couple of pages on Cantina were Q sniping. And I don't blame them for that. I don't blame anyone for Q sniping. The problem is one group starts with Q sniping and then it just snowballs, right? That being said, though, I'm thinking how to put this. That being said, if you have Q sniped snowballs on Rocketeers, you cannot blame people for Q sniping on Wasps. Full stop. That's it. But it is what it is, and we can't change it. The season is over, and it's done. For me, it was a lot of fun, and I have had very memorable and fun moments in the season. And I want to shout out just a couple of them. One of my favorite moments was the moment, and I'm just gonna show it. The moment when revealed that I got Cantina and everyone was cheering for that. You're gonna see it right now.
Cantina already, yeah. Chillin'. Oh.
Did he make it? He made it!
Hey.
Oh my god.
Let's go, Manny.
Hot
Fucking
shots got
yeah.
up
Yes,
there,
sir.
bro.
The big
Oh
Hot
my
Manny.
shots got up. Third in
Mashallah,
hot
Benny.
shot.
Good job.
And my absolute favorite moment of this season was when we were de-aggroing, trying to reset our aggro in Stella Montes with Venom. Shoutouts Venom. We had a blast. We had a dude, and unfortunately we didn't record it. We had a dude with a Pharaoh shooting at Venom like from, 8 meters away or something, and still not hitting. He finally went down. The guy started shooting at me. I dodged around and was mocking him a little bit. And after he didn't hit a couple of shots, he just simply surrendered. We had a blast. Oh, and then there was this clip right here.
Okay.
That was rude, bro.
Wow.
What? Try again. No, dude. Oh, here.
Oh my god.
No, dude. Here.
Bro! Oh my god! No fucking way! Holy shit! What the fuck are these lobbies?
Shoutouts once again to Venom. Amazing. It was amazing with every one of you. I just want to do a few special shoutouts, right? Because there are a couple of people that I feel like I have to mention that made this journey very, very enjoyable for me personally. So first of all, Angel and Queen, because that's how it started for me, right? That's where it all began. That's where the Discord server came to life, and that's how we all came together. So in general, Angel, Queen, and Venom for the insane amount of organization and Discord stuff and all that stuff that doesn't necessarily have to be done. You guys still did it, and I want to thank you for that. Sheldon, Sean, aka Tanak, 01, the Day Raiders that we've done trials on a daily basis during the daytimes, and it was a blast. Sandal and Zach, it was a blast as well, especially on the Trench Tower. Once again, I'm sorry, Zach, that I ratted on you. It still was one of my favorite moments of the season, and I had very much fun playing with you. Sleepy and Zuzo, thank you very much. You guys are amazing shot callers. It was a shit ton of fun running with you. Like, the Stellar runs were amazing. The Torrenta with the kinetic converter shredded. It was fun as hell. And last but not least, a couple special shoutouts as well. Mia, Kev, Certi, Cloud, Exo, Lou, Val, Sai, Ramas, Aim Higher, Prince, Sacris. All of you amazing people who helped, who've been there either in-game or morally or both. It was fun. I enjoyed. Thank you very much.